June 16, 1976 marked the rising up of young South Africans, raising their voices against the oppressive education system of the time. Today, with youth unemployment figures standing at little over 38%, it's clear that youth empowerment is critical, and it was only natural for MPs in the NCOP to focus largely on education in their Youth Day debate speeches in Parliament this week. Let's have a listen.
Minister in the Presidency for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, opened up the debate. She said despite the challenge taken up by the class of 76, the dignity of the majority of South Africans still needs to be restored. Dlamini Zuma referred to a World Bank report ranking South Africa the most unequal society in the world. She mentioned some of government's current efforts to try and turn this around.
In our efforts to address youth unemployment, we must identify areas with potential for job creation and economic development. There are lots of programs that government is already undertaking. I will not dwell in those because of time. But I want to say South Africa is surrounded by two oceans. And it is clear that this offers a great prospect for economic development. The ocean's economy is one of the crucial areas that young people need to tap into.
Dlamini Zuma also highlighted tourism as well as the creative industry as key sectors which should be made more attractive for young people. Deputy NCOP Chair Papi Tau said while programs geared at young women are important, too often young men in South Africa fall through the cracks.
Many young people, and in particular young men and women, find themselves without any anchor or role models. Many have physically and emotionally absent fathers, and growing up in communities where such absence has become a norm and then an exception. Our process of social transformation has been weakened in an era of gender relations. Most of our programs tend to focus a lot, of course, which is very much important, on the girl child, but sometimes we tend to forget the boy child.
Opposition parties focused on education.
The time has come for us to work together to establish an education and training system that reignites the self-confidence and hopes of our young South Africans. We should be outraged that this year The Economist declared the South African system as amongst the worst in the world, ranking 75th out of 76.
Education has been one of the few ways Black South Africans have had available to uplift themselves and their families. But it has always come at a financial cost that many cannot afford. This has excluded many of our young people from education altogether.
The IFP has always valued education as one of the tools young people can utilize towards total liberation. As a result, during the days of the strike, our motto in the Youth Brigade was Education for Liberation.
In July, South Africa will host the 10th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg. Dlamini Zuma says part of that meeting will be a youth summit looking at addressing the issues of young people. Abra Bobia, SABC News, Parliament.